Why Twitter? It's a question I get all the time. I've been on Twitter since I think 2008. So I think it began in 2007. And literally over the last 10 years, people have asked me the question, why Twitter? And I think it's an interesting question because you first got to say, is it why use Twitter? That's can be broken out two ways. First of all, we all use Twitter. I tell this to everybody because we all consume Twitter, right? And so if you watch TV, if you watch sports, if you watch news, if you read the paper, we all consume Twitter. I mean, when's the last? I mean, I guarantee you today, if you go look at an article in any news publication, it will probably have a screenshot of a tweet, right? Same thing when you watch sports and ESPN. Twitter is everywhere. So first of all, we got to admit that we all consume Twitter. So we obviously see value in it, right? But the other way, when we ask the question, why use Twitter, it's probably more, why do I post on Twitter? Because we all consume Twitter, right? And why do I post on Twitter is a very good question. And the way I always answer this is, of all the social graphs out there from Facebook and Instagram and so forth, LinkedIn, Twitter is the most public of all platforms. It is a very public platform, meaning it gets indexed. What does that mean? What does it mean gets indexed? When you tweet, every time you tweet, every single tweet, that is like an individual web page. No different than a website is made up of web pages. Your Twitter account is made up of web pages, which are tweets. And so when you tweet and you get good at it and you're consistent with it, you will get indexed, meaning Google will index your tweets. Most people don't realize that, but just to give you an example, go Google my name, Google Joe Stradinger. The first thing you're going to see is all of my tweets, and you probably don't follow me, right? So think about that. Just let that sink in. Why use Twitter? Why post on Twitter? Because every time you post, everything that you do will get indexed by Google, and good or bad, that will help you be seen. And so, again, think about it. Why do I use Twitter? Well, first of all, we all consume Twitter, but why would I post? You post because you want to get noticed. Now, if you don't want to get noticed and you're not in business and you don't want people to find you, well, then don't tweet. But if you want people to find you, no different than you work on your websites, no different than you do other things to get your website found, you must go tweet. And so that's one of the main things that I say. And another thing I guess I would answer it with is, I really can't totally give you the value of Twitter. I can tell you that I get excited about it. I've been using it for 11 years. But the story I used to tell people back in 2008 or 9 when I was doing some consulting, I would say, have you ever, who's seen a picture of the Grand Canyon? Well, we've all seen a picture of the Grand Canyon. But if you've been to the actual Grand Canyon, it is so more beautiful than any picture could ever show you. And I say the same thing to you. I cannot tell you the beauty of Twitter until you start using it. And once you start using it, I see this with people all the time. I go, oh, I get this, And so don't think about followers. It's the biggest false worldview out there. It is not always about followers. People look at Twitter all the time and don't follow people. When you look at a tweet in the news article tonight, you will not follow that person. And when you go look at Google Joe Stradinger, you will see my tweets, and guess what? You probably don't follow me. So it is not all about followers. Is it nice to have followers? Sure, I'm verified. It's nice to be verified, but that's not typical. And so don't get caught up in, I'm not going to use Twitter because I only have 5 followers. That is not a reason. I guarantee you, if you only have 1 follower, and you begin to do content posting, of course you'll grow your followers, but more importantly, you're doing it because you're trying to get noticed and people to find you and or your business.